Why are overhead setups so awesome? Well, look. Just look at this MacBook. How beautiful that is. MacBook Pro. Gorgeous. Probably one of my favorite tools I have. I'm just kidding. I actually love my camera the most. But this is a close second. Or maybe this iPhone. I love my iPhone. That's pretty sweet, right? Shout out to all you nerds. Demon Slayer, baby. Let's go. What about this Cash App card? I almost didn't buy this thing. I'm actually really glad I did, even though it literally just sits inside this case and I never use it. So to answer your question, because they're freaking awesome. Overhead setups are amazing. They add dynamic to your shot. They add a lot more. You can do cuts and stuff like that. If you need to make a cut because your audio, because you stumbled, you can then mask it with your overhead, so it makes a lot more of a cleaner transition. But either way, I'm gonna show you guys how to rig up your setup up above your head without worrying about it falling down and breaking. And this is gonna be good for vertical format and horizontal format. So if you're looking to make stuff for shorts and TikToks and Reels and all that stuff, this is gonna work really, really well for that as well too, or just plain old overhead shots like this. Or maybe you just wanna do photography as well overhead, but let's get into the video. I'm gonna show you how to safely do this. What's going on, everyone? My name is BPala, and I want to show you guys how to do this because I went on YouTube and I didn't find any good videos on how to do this. Most of the videos, they just talked about rigging it up without using a C-stand, and personally I want to go with the C-stand, so that way it's portable, I can move it around. If I'm literally like on location or something like that and I want to move this thing around, I can bring it with me if I want to. So with the flexibility, just being able to bring it anywhere in my house or something like that, rather than have something else, I just went this route. So let's go ahead and dive into it and see what we need. So first thing is first, I already talked about it, we actually need a C-stand. What is a C-stand? These are basically just heavy duty stands that you rig a lot of different things to. It could be backdrops, it could be lighting, it could be a camera, like you name it, you can rig it to this thing. It's a lot more beefy and it weighs a lot more. Like I don't know exactly how much this thing weighs, but this thing is incredibly like chonky. It's chonky, it's thick. Thing is thick, but these are great because again, if you're trying to rig up like a really expensive lighting system, if you're trying to rig up a like backdrop somewhere, something like that, like this will be able to hold it for the most part. I mean, obviously do your research, but I'll go ahead and link down below what the one that I got was, or something close to it. Now, another thing to note is that with C-stands, there are a lot of different versions of them. You can get them with an overhead rigging kit where they actually have an extension arm that has a thread mount at the end. You could do that too, but I personally like the way that I did it better because it's super easy to switch from vertical to horizontal versus having to move the entire stand around to be able to do that. With this, I literally just changed my tripod head around and just maneuver it to the side, and then I got a vertical shot and I just slightly adjusted. So make sure you get the one with the extension arm. Like I said, link in the description below. Next up, you're going to need a, what is this thing called? All right, so what you're gonna need is actually called a 5/8 stud adapter to a 17mm long 1/4 thread adapter, which is meant for camera brackets and stuff like that. So this thing is actually going to mount to the actual extension arm, and I'm gonna show you guys how to do that, but this will actually allow it to where you can attach your tripod head at any point on this arm. You can just easily move it around and stuff like that, but it's gonna ensure that you actually have a mounting point for your tripod head. Honestly, there's nothing fancy about them. I got a 2-pack on Amazon. Again, affiliate link in the description below. What that means by affiliate link is that, no, I'm not affiliated with Amazon, but if you buy through that link, if you're going to anyways, I just get a cut of that sale. So it really helped me out, I'd appreciate it. So next up is gonna be the tripod head, which I actually got the Ulanzi ball head with claw. Try this again. Ulanzi ball head with claw super quick release design. So basically what that means is that this thing is actually extremely durable. So the reason why I picked this over any other tripod head, because don't get me wrong, you can use whatever tripod head that you want. However, this one actually has a locking mechanism for the actual plate that you put on your camera, where you have to pinch it and then pull that off for it to actually come off. Now I like that better because most of the tripod heads that use Arca Swiss plates, they don't have like a stopper. So like, let's say if technically for some reason I didn't tighten the tripod head enough, or for some reason it was slipping, then the camera would just fall straight down. Now with this, because it locks into place, there's no chance of this thing falling out or slipping out because it's locked and it's there. And I believe on the website it was rated for up to like 22 pounds or something like that. So again, any camera rig a YouTuber or content creator is probably gonna be using, unless you're using some crazy like rigged out red weapon or something like that, you're gonna be fine. You won't have to worry about it. And again, I wanted some peace of mind knowing that my $4,000 or like $3,000 setup is not gonna fall down and break my MacBook or my head or something like that when I'm doing these kind of shots. All right, so now that we have our list together, let's go ahead and put this thing together. So first things first, you're gonna make sure that you actually set your C-stand up the correct way. Couple things you need to know for safety. Number one, there is a longer and taller leg on the C-stand. the taller leg needs to be the way that you're actually mounting the camera, or the way that the arm is going for the camera, the extension arm. Why is this important? Is because that is actually going to be the strongest as far as like keeping the center of balance and making sure that it doesn't topple over. So it's going to be less likely to topple over if you hit it, or if something happens, or if it shakes. It's going to be better. Taller leg is the same way you want the arm going. Next thing is you're going to want to make sure that you actually anchor it down. Now, I do as I say, not as I do. I actually don't do this because I feel like this is sturdy enough, but to be extra sure, to make sure that you're doing this the right way, sandbags, and you can even put like pebbles or wherever else you want in there and just weigh it down. And you can use that at the center of the base, or you can tie it to the opposite side. That will help make sure that your stand doesn't actually topple over when you're doing these overhead setups. Two things I wanted to show you guys. A, long leg is the same way that the camera would be, right? So that'd be the same way. Now the other thing is that if you look at this knuckle, so this is tightening it. Now if I push down on here, like I'm actually pushing on this thing, it doesn't move whatsoever. Now if I loosen this, ready? So I'm gonna loosen it. Now if I pull up on this, it actually starts to loosen the knuckle. So what I'm saying is that you want to make sure that the way that you tighten this is the way that you're putting the arm, so that way it properly keeps it in place and it doesn't loosen that grip. There we go. Back to the video. Once we have that done, we kind of want to figure out where do we want this. I've kind of put my thread adapter like right near the end, but not quite at the very end of it, because I want some room that if it slips a little bit or whatever, it doesn't come off. But this thing's pretty tight. It hasn't actually moved very much whenever I've actually gotten it, but make sure we attach that to there, screw that on tightly. So next up, once we get our adapter on there, now we need to put our tripod head there. So once we get our tripod head on there, now keep in mind the 1/4 is going to be a little bit smaller, but the Ulanzi head that I actually got, the tripod head, actually has an adapter in there, so it fits perfectly for a 1/4 adapter. You want to go ahead and screw that on there, and then basically you just take the plate off of there, that locking plate, so just squeeze the ends, pull the plate out, attach it to the camera, and that's it. And then you attach it, and boom, there you go. Now, again, the really cool thing about this is that it's now set up in a horizontal kind of position, but easily all you have to do is just loosen up the tripod head, and you can then swing it out to the left, and then now you're doing a vertical shot, and you just have to adjust your tripod a little bit. So it's actually pretty awesome to do it this way. Here's some shots that I personally use for like my TikTok and stuff like that to make some of these overhead shots, which is really, really cool. So again, it just adds like another layer, a different dimension to the video, and it kind of helps with that stuff. So that's pretty much it for the video. It's pretty straightforward, honestly. Like it's weird that there's a full-length video for this, but again, I felt frustrated because I was looking for the best overhead setup and the safest overhead setup for my equipment. And personally, I feel like I didn't really find one that hit the mark for me, but this does. So again, I've used it multiple times now and I've had no problems. There's no chance this thing's even falling down. There's no shot. But thank you guys for watching the video. I appreciate it. Go ahead and give me a thumbs up if you guys like this video or found it helpful. Also, if you guys want more content like this, hit that subscribe button. So that way I can go ahead and get you guys some more videos about how-to, vlogging, and mentality around creating content. I would love to be able to help you guys out. And if you guys want to connect with me, go ahead and follow me on all my social media, which is down there below. I do stream multiple times on multiple websites, multiple times a week. Sorry, this is a lot to talk about, but I'd love to be able to connect with you guys and maybe just play some Sweaty Apex for you. So appreciate it. Hope you guys have a good one. I will see you in the next video. Peace.